On Season 3, Episode 13, Kristen met with Anne-Marie, or Miami Girl as she later became known, who told Kristen she and Tom shared a night together on the group's recent trip to Miami, even though he was dating Ariana at the time. Anne-Marie flew into Los Angeles to confront Tom, and Kristen helped her ambush him while he and Ariana were both working at Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant, Sir. Kristen ensured she was present to witness the chaos firsthand. Despite the explosive television moment, Kristen's hopes of exposing Tom's cheating ways to Ariana ultimately failed. Instead, Tom and Ariana walked away from the bar rather than speak with Miami Girl. Ariana firmly stated she believed him when he denied cheating on her, and Kristen got into a verbal altercation with Sir Manager Diana, which led to her telling Diana to suck a dick, and getting fired from Sir for good. Still, time would ultimately prove Kristen right. After Tom cheated on Ariana again in Season 10, Ariana came clean and admitted Tom did, in fact, hook up with Miami Girl. Tom had convinced her to help him cover it up. It's definitely vindicating when I found out that Ariana actually did know that happened, Kristen told Bravo Insider while reflecting on the moment. Even though it was so long ago, I'm like, what assholes? You all could have admitted this many years ago. Kristen Doute clarifies the Miami Girl situation on Vanderpump Rules. There's one bit of fan lore about her involvement with Miami Girl that Kristen wanted to clear up. While people often claim Kristen flew Anne-Marie to Los Angeles to mess with Tom, she insists that never happened. I didn't fly her anywhere. That is the biggest common misconception ever. We were so broke back then that I couldn't afford to fly myself somewhere, let alone fly my ex-boyfriend's supposed mistress. Kristen told her on Instagram. We did talk on Instagram for a while, Kristen confirmed. Then, she saw the opportunity to come and prove whatever she wanted to prove to him. So that's what actually happened, and I've never talked to her since. Bless her heart. Kristen can now laugh when reflecting on that moment, particularly regarding her expectations compared to reality. That particular day, I remember wearing the dress I had on. I was wearing my friend Rachel's Versace dress, and although I thought I looked amazing that day, I wasn't. I was like, we're going to sit like ladies and drink Cosmos while we watch the ST show go down. She recalled, I was completely inebriated, holding a large glass of wine and chain-smoking cigarettes, and while she did lose her job for speaking disrespectfully to Diana, Kristen confirmed it was a good thing for her to leave Sir, as it set her up for more success and happiness in the future. That wasn't Kristen's only memorable interaction with her ex-boyfriend on Vanderpump Rules Season 3 though. During Episode 7, Kristen stopped by the apartment she used to share with Tom to pick up some of her mail. This is standard ex-boyfriend behavior, right? Well, except Kristen's outfit, a tiny dark green mini dress with a plunging 5 neckline. It was absolutely a lovely look, but maybe a little overdressed for a mail pickup. The awkward moment intensified when Kristen unintentionally referred to Tom as babe during their conversation. She's just doing that extremely cliche thing where it's like, look lovely around your ex, but it's like, you just see right through that, Tom claimed in a confessional, later describing her to Tom Schwartz as dressed to the nines to get her things. But Kristen adamantly defends her outfit choice to this day. First off, she clarified to Bravo Insider that she didn't realize when she got ready she was only filming to go pick up the mail. She had another destination in mind. Tom's house was not on my list of things to do that day. I was planning to go to lunch with Rachel O'Brien at a restaurant in LA. It felt like a girls' lunch, reminiscent of Sex and the City, with all the casual chatter. I was like, that's fun, we never dress up for lunch. But then, that morning it was like, okay, we're going to swing by Tom's, and you're going to pick up your mail. So I went in 5-inch black stilettos, and a dress that's down to my belly button. The 5 was so deep. Kristen laughed. Looking back on it now, Kristen has realized the dress actually made multiple cameos on the show. What's crazy is that when I was rewatching it, I was also wearing that dress in my confessional, which I do not remember. Is that the only dress I own? I probably wore that dress often because I was so broke back then, she said. Despite her apparent frequent use of the dress in Season 3, Kristen observed that it has become a treasured possession, garnering numerous accolades. For the longest time, Stassi Schroeder's sister had it. Many years ago, Stassi and I were getting rid of a bunch of clothes, and we gave everything to her sister. Then I randomly called her and was like, "You don't still have that, do you?" She did, Kristen recalled. While Stassi's sister enjoyed having the dress because it was a reality TV icon, Kristen added, she did give it back to Kristen, and Kristen was happy to play into the many memes surrounding it. And yes, Kristen indeed presented the infamous green mini dress to Andy on a recent episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, much to Andy's delight. Maybe it'll end up in the WWFGL clubhouse like Jax Taylor's chunky sweater, or at BravoCon 2025 with other iconic Bravo memorabilia. Either way, we're thrilled that this piece of clothing is getting the recognition it clarifies the biggest misconception about Miami Girl, setting the record straight in the whirlwind world of reality TV, social media, and celebrity gossip. Perceptions often take on a life of their own. Sometimes accurate, sometimes wildly distorted. Kristen Doute, a familiar face from Vanderpump Rules and a long-standing figure in the reality TV universe, recently found herself in the crosshairs of a misconception that's been swirling for years, the infamous Miami Girl narrative. For years, fans and critics alike have speculated about Kristen's relationship with a certain Miami-based woman, painting a picture that Kristen now reveals couldn't be farther from the truth. With her trademark candor and a dash of humor, Kristen is here to set the record straight, clarifying the biggest misconception about Miami Girl once and for all. The origins of the Miami Girl myth. To understand the misconception, we need to rewind to the early days of Kristen's reality TV journey. During her time on Vanderpump Rules, Kristen's personal life was often scrutinized, dissected, and sensationalized. One recurring storyline involved a woman from Miami, referred to in the media as Miami Girl, who was rumored to be romantically linked to Kristen, or at least to have played a role in her life. The rumor gained traction when a few cryptic social media posts and vague references from friends fueled the fire. Headlines blared about a mysterious Miami woman, and fans speculated about a romantic entanglement that supposedly rocked Kristen's world. Over time, the narrative morphed into a defining, if inaccurate, aspect of Kristen's story. Something she says has been misrepresented and misunderstood for years. The clarification recently, Kristen took to her podcast and social media platforms to clear the air. With her characteristic honesty, she addressed the misconception head-on. I think the biggest misconception about Miami Girl is that she was some sort of other woman, or that I had some deep romantic connection with her, Kristen explained during a candid episode of her podcast. That couldn't be further from the truth. The whole thing was blown out of proportion, and honestly, it's become a bit of a urban legend that doesn't reflect reality. She paused, emphasizing her point. The truth is, Miami Girl was never really a thing in my life. She was a friend, a casual acquaintance, and that's it. But the way the story was spun, by people who love a good scandal, made it seem like there was more to it than that. She went on to describe how the narrative was amplified by social media misinterpretations, gossip bloggers, and a few misinformed friends, all adding layers of drama that took on a life of their own. The roots of the misunderstanding. Kristen explained that her relationship with Miami Girl was in fact pretty straightforward. We met in Miami through friends, had a few casual hangouts, and that was it. There was no secret affair, no hidden romance, no big drama, she clarified. But once rumors start, they're hard to contain. People love a good story and suddenly it's everywhere, twisted and exaggerated. She admitted that, at the time, she was navigating personal struggles and didn't pay much attention to the gossip. But now, looking back, she feels compelled to clear her name and set the record straight. I don't want people thinking I was some kind of other woman or that I was hiding a big secret. That's just not true. It's a misconception I want to put to rest once and for all. Why the misconception persisted. Kristen attributes the longevity of the myth to a combination of factors: the allure of scandal, the nature of reality TV storytelling, and the tendency for fans to latch on to sensational scandal, especially when it involves celebrities or reality TV personalities, she said. And the media, in many cases, loves to feed into that. It's easier to sell headlines when there's a mystery woman involved, regardless of whether it's true or not. She also pointed out that the social media age, with its rapid-fire information flow and viral potential, makes it difficult to control narratives once they're out in the wild. Once a story is out there, even if it's false, it spreads like wildfire, and the correction or clarification often gets buried under a mountain of new gossip. Kristen's reflection and moving forward. Kristen expressed a sense of frustration, but also a desire to move past the misconception. "Honestly, it's exhausting to have this story hanging over my head for years," she admitted. "I've always tried to be honest about my life, but some things just take on a life of their own, and you can't always control that." She emphasized the importance of authenticity and the power of setting the record straight. "I want my fans to know the truth from me. I'm not perfect, but I'm real. And I've never had some secret, scandalous Miami affair. Never was, never will be." Looking ahead, Kristen hopes that by speaking openly about the misconception, she can finally put it behind her and focus on her personal growth and new chapters. The bigger picture, misconceptions in reality Kristen's experience
TV.
is emblematic of a larger issue in the world of reality television and celebrity culture: how stories, whether true or not, can become distorted and entrenched in public consciousness. "It's a cautionary tale," Kristen mused. "Sometimes a rumor starts as a joke or a misinterpretation, and before you know it, it's treated as fact. That's why it's so important to come from a place of honesty and clarify when needed." She encourages fans and followers to be critical consumers of gossip, recognizing that behind every headline is a person with feelings and a story that deserves respect. The power of personal voice in an age of instant information. Kristen's decision to speak out highlights the importance of personal agency in shaping one's narrative. "I'm not going to let false stories define me," she declared. "My truth is what matters. And I hope that sharing my side helps others understand there is always more than what meets the eye." Her openness serves as a reminder that even in the world of glitz and glamour, authenticity and honesty are powerful tools for healing and growth. Final thoughts. As Kristen Doute continues to write her story, one that's filled with ups, downs, and lessons learned, she's making it clear that misconceptions, no matter how persistent, can be challenged and corrected. "The biggest misconception about Miami Girl," she now says, "is just that, a misconception." And with her candidness and resilience, Kristen proves once again that staying true to oneself is the ultimate way to set the record straight.